Dr. Arianne here from the Movement Paradigm. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you can either start an exercise program or step up your game in 2020. This is a time where so many people get injured because they are trying to improve their fitness level for the first time, or they're trying to go from beginner to intermediate, or really just step up their game in general. So I thought this was a good opportunity to help you think about some different aspects of fitness so that you can prevent injury and also maximize what you're doing and really get the most out of your fitness and your health this year. So the first and most important thing is knowing your baseline. So you want to know, are you a beginner, intermediate, or are you advanced? Do you have any pain or discomfort or any potentially old injuries that you're dealing with? What is your mobility stability baseline? So essentially, what is your functional movement baseline? This is an opportunity that you could work with a professional and get screened and know exactly what your starting point is. But if you don't have that opportunity, then you really want to be able to look inward and take a really serious reflection on yourself of what is your starting point so that you know how to just systematically progress from there. Okay, so the first thing is that you want to consider in your exercise or your fitness program is doing some type of warm-up. Now, it's not necessarily the warm-up that you think of as, okay, I'm going to jump on the treadmill and warm up for 5 minutes for my strength workout. But I want you to think about this as an opportunity for you to tune into your body, to notice what pain you might have or tension you might have that day. Are you tired? Did you eat well that day? Did you stay up too late and not get enough sleep? To really take a deep inward look to see how you are feeling that day, how that should affect your workout moving forward. So once you're able to really tune into your body, then you want to be able to think about how can you prepare yourself best for the demands of the activity that you are about to embark on. If you are going to do strength training, for example, then doing some static stretching like this, putting your arm on the wall, isn't going to do much, right? It's actually not beneficial whatsoever. So you want to think about how can you prepare your body for the demands of the activity. So for example, instead of jumping on a treadmill and walking for 5 minutes, you could do a lunge with a reach, where you're actually activating and waking up your whole body, your whole nervous system, because that's the goal, is to prepare your nervous system for what you're going to do. Okay? The second thing, and to me is the most important point here, is a systematic progression of your activity. So let's say, for example, you want to start a walking program or a running program. Going from not walking at all to I'm going to run 30 minutes 3 times a week is unrealistic. If you have not been doing that at all for at least, well, let's say even to me, 2 weeks or more, but let's say months or even years, then that is not a realistic goal, and that is exactly how you can set yourself up for injury. So we want to think about our body in terms of putting stress on our body and then taking it off. Putting stress on our body and taking it off. And what that does is creates an adaptation. We can create fascial elasticity in our body. Think of us like a rubber band. This is what really helps to prevent injury. So if we wanted to run, that was our goal, then the recommendation would be to make sure that you can walk for 30 minutes, which you're still encountering 1 to 1.5 times your body weight in force when you're walking, as opposed to 3 to 4 when you're running. You want to be able to walk for at least 30 minutes without any symptoms, and at least 3 times a week before you progress to running. Then, if you were going to progress to running, you would slowly start with a walk-jog interval. You could start with a 1 minute and 1 minute, and I would suggest starting at 5 minutes total. So that's only a few minutes total running time. Then you would slowly progress that to 10 minutes, and then slowly progress that to 15 or 20 or whatever your goal might be. But that's going to be weeks to months to get you to 30 minutes of running without injury, okay? So if you've already been running and you want to step it up, you can follow the same protocol, but just you have a different baseline that a beginner does. So if you want to go from 20 minutes to 30 minutes, you think about every other day, you're going to place a little more stress on your body, assuming there's no symptoms, there's no pain, there's no discomfort, no injuries, then you can continue to progress that way to achieve whatever your goal is. Okay, so if we think about strength training, if you're strength training for the first time, think about starting at maybe 2 times a week with 2 sets of exercises. You could think 8 to 12 repetitions, and then slowly progress that towards 3 sets and then potentially 3 days a week. If you were thinking of it from a yoga perspective, there's lots of yoga classes all over. But you need to make sure that that's a yoga class that you can do safely. So for example, a hatha yoga class might be more appropriate for a beginner as opposed to a power yoga class that would be maybe for an intermediate to advanced person. It doesn't mean that you can't do that. It just might mean, why don't you start with something where you just learn how to control your body and breathe in the asana and couple breath with movement before you go into something more advanced. Right? And then you set a goal to get wherever you want to go in classes, or seek out beginner level classes, beginner level instructors that can help you and guide you and coach you. And then I've done a separate video on HIIT training, so please reference that for pros and cons. But for the intermediate to advanced fitness enthusiast, that can be great for you to maybe add HIIT training to your program. I do not recommend it for beginners because this is oftentimes where people get hurt, because they really need to just develop a movement baseline, maybe a basic fitness or strength baseline before they move into something like that. Okay? So then last, but definitely not least, is we think of a cool down. Now, cool down could be different for every person. A cool down could be maybe you take a short walk. A cool down could be that you jump on the floor and do some stretches. It could be that you just do some basic breath work or even a meditation. And lastly, it could be a reflection on what happened in that session. So what went right? What maybe didn't go as well as you had planned? Did you feel good? Does your body feel energized and revitalized, or does it feel kind of like, oh, like that, I feel like crap? Did you work too hard? Did you not work hard enough? So you use that as an opportunity to change your next session, okay? It's a journey. Fitness is a journey no matter what level you're at, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. You are always fine-tuning. So you're always trying to change of, what am I not doing that I might need to add into my program? Do I need to add yoga in because I'm doing so much strength and HIIT training? Am I doing too much yoga that I need to add in strength and a little bit more, maybe power exercises? So this is to give you a general idea of, how to start safely and some considerations. I definitely encourage you to reach out to a professional that can help you, because this is something that you want to be able to move, and you want to be able to stay injury-free. You want to be pain-free for a lifetime. You want to be able to do the things you want to do. So it is important to take the ownership in yourself and your health and your movement to be able to continue for a lifetime. So if you like this video, please hit like. If you really liked it, make sure you share it with your friends. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit on your alert button so that you make sure you're tuned in to new videos. All right, thank you so much and Happy New Year.